Now, Stormwatch 12 weather with meteorologist Oliver Smith.
Boy, it's been soggy in southern Oregon and northern California today. Take a look at the amount of water over in Mount Shasta City, at least since midnight. Almost 1.4 inches. That's quite a soaking. Just a little less than 2/3 of an inch over in Klamath Falls, about 8/10 for Montague, and about 4/10 over towards Medford. So you can see that the area concentrated was essentially Medford out towards the eastern part of our viewing area and into Siskiyou County. You head off towards the west a little bit, Grants Pass and Brookings, only about 1/4 of an inch or so, so not as much activity farther west you go, which is usually not the case, but this is just the case for this particular system. Now, our radar imagery, you can see some light rain over towards Paisley and Lakeview, a little bit of some transition over towards snow, looks like, and over towards Chiloquin and Klamath Falls, some heavier rain off to the east of both locations at this time. But the flow is still from the northeast towards the south and the west. Into Siskiyou County, you can see we do have some rain and snow in the eastern part of Siskiyou County, but nothing going on the western part. Pretty quiet overall. Now here into southwestern Oregon, we've had plenty of rain here in Medford. You may have seen that the rainfall tally of about, I think it was 0.53 inches for Medford. So that's a great amount of rain for the last 24 hours, but some showers now just to the northwest of Grants Pass, the same flow from the northeast towards the south and the west. Doesn't mean that we're completely out of the woods in terms of showers, but it's just going to be harder and harder as we get towards the evening. And eventually everything tapers off because the system that is responsible for all this is located over northwestern Nevada at this time, and it'll be pushing off towards the east over the next 24 hours, taking all the rain with it. Now, we've had some pretty gusty winds in and around Klamath Falls and up to our north as well, especially over by Christmas Valley and Silver Lake, for examples, because they had some pretty good thunderstorms with some gusts around 40 miles an hour as well. So nothing going for the west side except for the usual gusts about 20 to 25 miles an hour. Winds will be decreasing tonight, especially here in the Rogue Valley, and with all the rain that we've picked up, we're actually going to have the possibility of looking at some fog into the Rogue Valley and along the Oregon coast for tonight. Doesn't necessarily mean it'll occur, we just have that good possibility of that because of all the moisture. But lows into the 40s for the coast and west side, 30s east side and down towards Wairika. Now, if you're planning your day for tomorrow, we'll have a lot of clouds, a lot of fog to start off our day, and then we'll be looking at sunshine, pretty nice as we get into the afternoon, so a beautiful day is on tap. Much nicer than what we were just looking at for today. Highs into the 60s, so definitely that means temperatures recovering pretty nicely. Klamath Falls forecasting a high of 58 degrees. So our stormcast, here you go. You can see the activity that we were just kind of looking at. Moves from the northeast towards the south and the west, eventually progresses off towards the east, but probably not until late tonight, at least until after about midnight or so. But by the time Monday morning comes along, just a lot of clouds and some fog in some areas, and then we're going to be looking at some pretty nice weather. Let me take a look at this map. We're just going to be looking at some clouds. We could be looking at some morning clouds once we get towards Tuesday morning as well, but other than that, we're just going to be looking at a lot of sunshine. And once high pressure builds in, we could be looking at some areas of frost in parts of Siskiyou County for the next couple of mornings because temperatures getting kind of cold over there. Now, if you're thinking about doing any outdoor activities, yard mowing, any kind of biking or hiking or things like that, it's going to be pretty nice weather Monday through Thursday. Now we're going to have the cold air that's over us right now. That's going to be pushing off towards the east. A system will move up to our north, kind of grazing us. That'll increase the clouds throughout our region. But other than that, we're going to be looking pretty nice, at least until we get towards the weekend when we get some more activity getting closer and closer to us by the end of the weekend. So just perfect timing yet again. For the Oregon coast, 60s through Friday, pretty nice overall. And then 50s beginning over the weekend. Northern California will be looking at 60s and 70s for the next several days. Eventually we'll cool off and see some rain by the weekend. Klamath Basin will be looking at some pretty cold overnight lows into the 20s, but highs going from the upper 50s to the low 70s. Cascades also looking very beautiful, and then we'll finally see a little bit more snow maybe once we get towards Sunday of this coming week. And the Rogue Valley, it's going to be really nice, peaking on Thursday and Friday.
Thanks so much, Oliver.